Good evening and welcome to the August 17th, 2026 regular school board meeting for Joint School District 171. Carmen?
Trustee St. Germain.
Here.
Trustee Craig.
Here.
Trustee Doramus.
Here.
Trustee Kepke.
Here.
Trustee McIntosh.
Here.
Right on. Great. Thank you. Okay, join me in a salute to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And thanks to all who serve. Can I get a motion to approve the agenda?
I'll make a motion that we approve the agenda as presented.
Do you want to note the amendments just to be safe, please?
Is this the entire amendment?
It tells you what the amendments were.
Oh, there it is. Okay. Yeah. With the amendment.
I added action to letter C and then the entire letter
Yes.
G.
Okay, the action of letter C, and then what was that, Jason?
All of letter G.
All of letter G as an amendment as presented.
I'll second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Aye, motion carries. Thank you. Can you get approval of the regular meeting minutes from July 20th, 2026?
I move to approve the minutes of the July 2026 regular board meeting as presented.
Your second out there.
I'll second.
So many discussion. I didn't see anything wrong with that.
I read through them.
Aye.
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 Aye, motion carries. Thank you very much. Now moving into the consent agenda, can we get a motion?
I move to approve the consent agenda as presented, including the payment of bills, account payable in the financial reports for Orofino Junior Senior High School, Timberline, and Orofino Elementary School.
I'll second.
So any discussion?
I just wanted to note that the budget report there is missing because of it hasn't been built yet with our Skyward transition. And then there's one school report missing OES because the auditor has the flash drive which contains that particular report. That's the only access to it. So that's why those two are not linked.
I knew about the budget, but I did not catch. Oh, yes, thank you for that. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Aye, motion carries. Moving on to reports and recognitions. I want to give a huge shout out to IT and Farah for the Skyward update process that took place over the summer and the support for Chromebooks, particularly here at the Idaho Youth Challenge Academy, because you guys do start a little bit earlier. And hats off, Russell. You pulled it off. I know you continue to work on it, but I saw several emails off and on through the summer, and it was a heck of a job. I'm kind of excited about the new classroom tool called Gloria. And that's because personally, I have a new little travel trailer and her name is Gloria. So now I will remember Gloria, a classroom tool that should help our teachers and students learn more efficiently and manage information. Steve in the bus barn put together a ramp on the food delivery truck, which is going to be a huge back savings for our food service and volunteers. The summer pantry fed 35 families. And we want to give a shout out to Lewis Clark Credit Union, the Orofino Elementary School PTO, and the Orofino Community Church for providing back to school supplies as part of that backpack program. And to the people out there that want to be bus drivers, all of our routes are covered with bus drivers. We're short on subs, but all of our routes have drivers. So hooray to you and thank you for your commitment to us. That's what I captured. Anybody else?
We could add some rounds, so. it would not burn cost.
I have a question later. I have a question about that later, yeah.
No,
No question?
well said.
That's it? Nobody else? You all matter and we appreciate you. Hope you had a wonderful summer.
I
Okay,
could probably add, it wasn't just from OES, because principals aren't, except for Jim, don't have reports this month, but you probably saw on a Facebook post that huge donation from the Little Brick Church to OES,
Yes.
$75,000 donation, so that's amazing.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I remember that from last month. Is that? Maybe we should do it. Okay, committee reports, building reports. We have no active committees. Any questions on the building reports?
We're gonna wait for your side, Jason, before we talk about.
Yeah.
Okay. No questions.
Anything for program reports? Looks like Cody's gonna spend a significant amount of time up at Timberline this year doing some mentoring. So hopefully that's a good thing.
We were grateful for him in the spring, we're more grateful for his mentorship now.
Awesome. Okay, with no questions, Jason, you're up.
The Skyward transition is just ongoing and tremendously challenging. That's why I have those appreciations in there to the people that are carrying the brunt of that. And you mentioned Steve for his work. A lot of our work right now is getting ready for District Day. I included the agenda so you could see the breakout sessions. And if any of you are available to attend or just pop in the morning, that's awesome. I can introduce you. You can get a free coffee if you want.
I hope somebody can. I can't this year.
Wednesday morning, I can be there for the beginning.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Cool. That's always appreciated. Any questions about that part? District Day, breakouts, things like that?
That's great.
And if I read, that's at OES, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. And then I put our link to the draft of our survey in here so that we could
So
see if there was any.
Come
It
up
did
with
not
something
work.
different, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, I
when-
see that.
I'm
But
sorry,
Like
I'm sorry I didn't look at it until today. It's not working. But you do have the link to the share drive. So it is the survey
That's right. Yeah.
with an online portal when it works. And I think that it's going to help us gather some information from a variety of stakeholders, whether that be educators, family stakeholders, or our community stakeholders, whether that be business partners or community partners. So we tried to pull in information from our Cognia assessment, as well as what we've listened to and heard over the last couple of years around how do we better engage the community? How do we capture and present data in a more positive way from the standpoint of your tax dollars at work for you as a taxpaying citizen in Joint District 171? So I was hoping to get an okay to proceed at this meeting. So maybe.
Does anybody have that open right now?
No, I'm going there, right?
I can.
Click that link and see if you can get it to work.
Oh, the same one?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's published on a Google site.
Yes.
And for some reason, they're much more challenging. It looks a whole lot better, than just using a Google form, but I don't know why the link was. Maybe because I made some edits and didn't republish or something. If you click through there, you can see kind of the format of it. And we talked last time about making sure that, it was appealing, that it showed progress, some of those features of an effective survey. And you can see this does that if you start clicking through. It starts with an about you, so we can identify which stakeholder group the respondent is, which they could be more than one, if they're connected to a school or not. And then it gets into the actual meat of the survey.
And I tried to cheat my way through it, but you can't, you have to select who you
Yeah.
actually take this, participate in it. So.
Yeah, almost everything's required.
Yeah.
That survey looked good.
What's that?
I thought the survey looked good when I
When you looked at
looked at
it,
the draft.
okay, yeah, I didn't
Yeah.
see any comments. I didn't see that
Yeah.
anybody put any comments in the actual document itself. So,
I think it encompasses what we had intended
Mhm.
from our last discussion. Chris and I refined it a couple times. Anyway, you can look in there and spend time when you're able and just give us some feedback, and I don't know when you want to.
well, I was, okay, it's not an action item. Do we need it to be an
No,
action? We don't
no,
need it.
that's why I
It's
just
not
put it in the
expansion of
report.
resources. Okay, so, how about, do you have the time, energy to click through the survey and give us a thumbs up or suggestions on what you might like to see changed or a thumbs down by next Monday?
Mhm.
Taylor, does that work for you? Did we lose Taylor?
No, I'm here. Sorry.
You're okay. So does that work for you to get, to work your way through the survey? You're actually a board member and a parent. And so, and also potentially another stakeholder type. Can you do multiple? If you're multiple? Okay, so you can. And
I can't get it to pull up right now, but I'll look through it.
okay, awesome. Yeah, so,
If you have any tech trouble, holler at me.
Okay, I'll let you know.
and then I think in addition to having it be the online and distributing it through our normal means, if we personally have some specific targets or people that we believe we want to make sure that we get their input to, I would encourage us to go meet in person. You can take this on a tablet and click through their answers for them. Not leaving until you do the survey. Okay, thank you. Thank you for that.
Good
Mhm.
on survey.
I think
So then I had set up several facilities things. You can see that Orofino Junior Senior High School CTE building, the kit will arrive in September. So we'll have a RFQ going out for that soon for the concrete and erection of that building. Over the weekend, Seth Melton and Joaquin repaired the sewer drain from the concession stand, so that'll be huge. I was thinking that we might be stuck in football season with no functional drain for that building up there, and that was going to be all bad. So I appreciate those guys for doing that on the weekend. As you recall, we just went through our engineering process to select engineering firm. Scott Sumner's already been to our campuses, walked all the big drainage projects at each one. He'll be submitting a proposal to us pretty soon. Tonight, we'll be talking about the bus shelter as an action item, and then just the regular things been going on this summer. One concerning note you've probably seen on Idaho Ed News is that the Idaho School Benefit Trust Health Insurance has a shortfall. We think we're going to get billed, the district's going to get billed approximately $300,000 to cover that deficit. So that's a big hit, you know.
That's in addition to our
Yeah,
over the top.
and it's actually for last year, last insurance year. So going forward, in the new health insurance agreement, the district is not responsible for shortfall or surplus. Blue Cross is carrying that liability, but in the past, the districts themselves carried that liability. I don't recall in my tenure this happening before, but anyway, we're getting a big bill. And we don't know exactly, but that's what they're talking about. They're talking about allowing districts to make payments if they need to. Blue Cross, I had heard was going to charge 9% interest. And so if we overpay, I want to make sure we get our 9%.
There you go.
If we do a one time and overpay and they recalculate. And basically, I'm sure you've seen it, but basically the main thing was just a preponderance of claims. So.
Which, I mean, it's what it's there for, right? so often we all pay into insurance and don't get the benefit of it.
Right.
But ouch.
Well, especially after the
State-
fact, it's one thing to get,
right.
you know, increases and,
Right,
you know,
yeah.
go through that process. This is just a surprise. Here's a bill and you're legally obligated to pay it.
It's not $1.9 million, it's $2.1 million now,
No.
on top of a $2.4 million
Yeah.
existing plan.
And you validated that contractually we're obligated for,
Yeah,
that's crazy.
it is crazy.
They run a bad business and it's our fault.
Yeah.
It's a good business model.
And it's bizarre because there's a tremendous amount of oversight, but not much of a heads up, you know. The school,
Yeah.
the school insurance council had to approve the rates, you know, they obviously should have had higher rates, and I don't know why they didn't catch it earlier, but.
A former school board member was sort of had a bit of a bone around insurance, and now I kind of wonder whether he had a point. I don't know if we could shop the market and do any better.
Well, we did this year and couldn't
Yeah.
with a comparable plan, you know.
Yeah, that being the biggest difference.
Right.
I wonder if.
It's unfortunate.
With this, I wonder if there will be other companies that might rise to the surface to say, hey, we'll come up with it. This is the deal we can offer you. That might be interesting in the insurance world. I know it's limited, but.
Yeah, I don't know. You saw the opposite of that, actually, you know, several companies going, no, too much risk, you know, so I'm not sure. It's an interesting time in insurance, for sure. That's pretty much it for me on my report.
Carmen, do we have any public comment?
No, we do not.
Did not click the surplus link.
No surplus.
Okay, thank you. I didn't see an action. Okay, policy.
I went through ISBA's recent update, which we have some older ones to go through also, but some of the policies you see here are, you know, pertinent to new legislation that we need as soon as possible. These are the kind of ones that you get these records requests for, you know, in the next couple of weeks with a gotcha, like, you know, they've passed this law. Do you have this policy kind of thing? And I learned that last year. They like to publish that. I think it's just like I said, a gotcha. The moment of silence, that's a new policy. I'm just scrolling, looking at the red ones.
Yep, so I know what we need to do is have the conversation amongst this institution and administrators. Has there been that conversation yet?
Yeah, we're
And you
we're
got a
ready to go.
plan?
Yeah, it'll
Everybody's
be
got a
after the
plan?
pledge.
And that
Yep.
includes the academy as well.
Yep, everybody has to do it.
I've seen a lot of other school districts posting like summary thing on their social media. I don't know if we should consider doing that as well. I've seen it from a lot of schools, them just posting that out on all their social medias as a way of notifying parents if they haven't already heard about it.
Yes, we will. I haven't done that recently. I did it last year when it was coming, but we will be doing it again. It's challenging right now. About like you said, we can do it through social media. Skyward is not quite functional for that, but yes. So, yep, moment of silence. Then there's quite a bit of student discipline, and the CEA had asked that we review discipline policy. Bill provided sample, you know, things in policy that they wanted. Let's see. So if you
And
look
this
at,
This is just our first read on the discipline policy, so we can have
Correct.
some time to think. I just wanted to do some more research on comparing what we have and what they had proposed.
yes, yeah, we can do all kind, you know, we can look at ISBA's these policies and do a first read on them, and then we can modify ours or not. We can continue to just review ours. We can really do whatever the board wants to do as far as the process goes. We have We have a very robust discipline policy. The schools have discipline matrix for behavior. Nothing's missing except for these new requirements that ISBA's requiring.
So on that note, one of the things that we had talked about was, yeah, we have a policy, but then each school has its own unique handbook. So I was kind of curious whether the handbooks are aligned as far as policy.
Yeah, we have aligned
processes,
we have
procedure.
aligned matrices that we worked on for elementary and secondary. There are differences, of course, depending on resources available, particular school, number of students, et cetera, but they have common matrices.
Are those handbooks posted somewhere where we could, I mean, I don't know that I guess my thought is that we just kind of put it on hold until next time and make the next time our first read so we all have time to discuss. But I'd like to look at the handbooks if that section's at least available so we can kind of compare what's in policy versus what's in the handbooks versus each different school.
Yeah, no problem. I can share that with everybody.
I just know this is important to them. And so I really want to take due diligence time and really thoroughly researching what we might already have versus what might need to be added or changed, if anything.
And we talked about whether we wanted to add it as a works session, Taylor. I think that maybe looking at from the standpoint of maybe a committee review, you have committees that look at this. This is a bad time with school starting to ask for yet another thing before you go do what you have to do for the year. So when we were thinking about this, the agenda, the fact that ISBA did put out a proposed revision, and knowing that the Clearwater Education Alliance Association, is also interested in impacting or having at least daylighting their concerns from the classroom perspective and how we incorporate that. So I think that having this as a first read is okay. I think that maybe we won't act on a second read. Maybe it may take a third read based on input and research information that we gather. I don't know how anybody else feels about that.
Are we gonna put a committee together to look at it?
I think we should.
I think we should too. But I think that should come before the first read, in my opinion.
Before the first?
And it'd be
So-
good to get a mixed bag of administrators, teachers. Just so we're getting everybody's thoughts on it. I can see having different handbooks personally, like from elementary to secondary, but as long as it's still within the spirit of policy, that's important. With these just few changes, it's really quick. What Bill has sent over makes it inherently different. It's a different level and layer on it. So I would rather get more feedback and input before we even did a first read on it. That's just my opinion.
Well, that's true. Yeah.
I agree with that. Just because right now we don't really have anything that we're first reading. I mean, we kind of need that collaboration so we have some semblance of a solid draft of what we might be first reading. If we can get a committee together, I think that'd be great.
And do I need to refresh this? Is the first read the link?
No, it's not. Just scroll all the way to the bottom.
Okay.
But you can, do you have the summary document up too?
Yeah,
Okay.
I looked at.
So there are a couple things, and they don't have to be done right now, but new legislation prompted these updates. So you can see in the 3295, the hazing, harassment, intimidation, bullying, House Bill 785 prompted these updates, and that would change our policy slightly. And then there are some updates for 3330, which is student discipline, the big student discipline policy. And there's some things that we need to have and also discuss because they ISBA has created a new policy for the gun-free schools, and they're taking it out of 3330, and it'll become 3331.
3331, yeah.
Thank you.
And
Can
that
we-
makes sense to me, you know, let's simplify it. And pull it out if somebody has specific questions about gun use or guns in our institutions, we can direct them to that. Taylor?
Can we make these a first read because they are a required policy as written? Make those, you know, consider this our first read of those with the putting it out there that we are going to be developing a committee for any potential other changes. But these updates are required. So considering those required ones, our first read on that piece of it.
We definitely can. We can do it however we want, really. There's no timeline for when these have to be adopted. Like I said, we have a strong policy in place. I'm not particularly nervous about how soon it happens.
The thing about having it as a first read tonight is it almost formalizes what we're going to do, right? Okay, let's form a committee. Who wants to be on the committee? Who can be on the committee? When can we meet? And if we don't come back with a second read in September, then we come back with a second read perhaps in October. Does that increase your comfort?
Yeah, I'm game.
Taylor?
Yeah, that sounds good to me. I think we just need to figure out what that process looks like for developing that committee and what that looks like tonight.
Well, I think it's pretty straightforward. Who would be interested in serving on that committee from the board perspective? And then Jason can work with the administration and determine who's going to be on from the rest of the team. And then we can look at dates.
I'd be willing to serve on that committee.
I'd be willing as well if you need, I don't know how many you want, but I'm willing as well.
But we can't have three, so we can have two. So that sounds good. Brent, you're good with that?
I'm good with it.
Jason? Okay, all right, so. Okay. Thank you, Jim and Taylor.
We haven't been taking action on first read, so as we move into next month, if you're comfortable, we'll just move ahead with any policy that we want to move to second read and actually take action on or not.
Right.
And then we'll just keep working on these.
Right.
Just stay there. If there's some of them next time on second read that you want to be done with, we can move forward that way too.
Yeah, I support that, but given the focus and the interest on behavioral policy, the information from the schools around handbooks, nuances, the education association. Willing committee members.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay, so moving on to,
There's a couple more procedures in there.
recommended, strongly encouraged. So how come the moment of silence was twice?
This is the, let's see. I was thinking this was the form. Let me look here. I don't know. Where's it? You know, parent notice.
Oh, it says C companion policy 2553F. So is that the one
That's
that is
the-
required?
That's the requiring the notice.
2553. F is the form.
So that would just be updating the notices, I guess, to make sure this one is included in the mandatory notices.
Mhm,
The next
Yeah.
one, 3295, is also procedure.
mhm.
And you can see the changes that we have to do in that.
And I see your note that about the need for us to be consistent across to all schools, so. I was glad to see that you're kind of
They-
thinking about that already.
They've relaxed the definition of or when we can act on cyberbullying, inappropriate online behavior. The standard has been when it affects students at school. it can be, whether it happens in school or out of school, that has been the standard now. It's much more open as to anything that affects someone's reputation, whether there's an obvious effect to them or not, can
Yeah,
require a school investigation.
I saw that.
So it's more aggressive towards investigating.
Can we jump back real quick to this moment of silence? We are starting school next week. Are we going to implement it with our policy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Let me go backwards. Now,
Law, just FYI, law always supersedes policy. We've known about this for
Yeah,
a long
months.
time. Yeah. It's been, and I sent home in reports last spring that this is gonna happen.
so 5260 and Senate Bill 1412. This is pretty intense from the standpoint of our institution. I'm sure we do, because I know we have a current policy. But it just seemed like it took another step here.
Well, the main thing is that on the right, under existing JSD 171 policy is that second bullet where this law mandated that before we do our own internal investigation, it has to be reported.
Right.
That's the standard practice anyway. This doesn't really affect how we do things, but it will put it into concrete in writing that that's how it's going to happen.
And didn't it remove the requirement to report to the State Department of Education, or am I confusing that with a different?
We haven't had that, so we haven't had that requirement. So I'm not sure.
Okay.
Impact on us is very little. Main thing is communicating and make sure that our staff know that that's how the order's going to go.
So do you review that in the district day?
Mhm. And then you can see 5296. These are
Talked about all these. with
Yeah.
the union.
related to the anti-union
Mhm.
legislation.
Mhm. And Farah has been working with them on the automatic fee payment. That's all taken care of. It sounded like there were just a handful, so. And then we had a handful of optional updates.
Yeah, I remember a lot of the Band-Aid bill stuff. They tried to clean that up here. We already cover all this stuff. You can see on the right side. But it let's see, I'm trying to think how to say it, but basically the law required us to be like, get permission for Band-Aids essentially, and this provides a little more flexibility.
We do that in a form in the registration process, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Casey, have any concerns or thoughts or nuances around it?
I haven't talked to her about this in particular. This
Okay.
one, no, this just makes life a little easier.
Oh, cool.
It's common sense. We probably would have done it anyway.
Yay. Yay, common sense from the Idaho legislature. Thank you.
Well, I won't go that far, but we're gonna, taking care of kids is common sense for us when it comes
For
to
sure.
minor first aid.
And then more union stuff.
Yeah, it's all pretty,
Yeah,
unless there's questions, it's pretty kind of old news, really.
it's just process, right? They've given us the words we need to use.
Mhm.
Okay,
There aren't a lot this time. I just picked out some of the more pertinent ones.
thank you. So our takeaway is we'll have a committee. We have board members. You can communicate with your team and set something.
Sounds good.
And I think, I know I'd like to see the handbooks, the unique handbooks.
Yeah, I made a note. I'll send it.
I assume everybody does.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then Jim and Taylor will give you any feedback or thoughts that we have as individuals.
That'd be great. On the
Carmen,
moment
can
of,
we can do that, can't we? Provide thoughts or input for them to use in committee?
I think so. Maybe just,
Yeah.
it's because it's a discussion.
Okay, just checking.
Just can't have a quorum in it, so it
Right,
can't be
right.
an email discussion about,
Right.
making policy decision or whatever.
But an email
You can-
too.
You just run it all through me and then you don't have to
Okay.
worry about it at all.
There we go. Okay. Point
On
taken,
the-
thank you.
on the moment of silence or the minute of silence, is there any specially outlined discipline in that policy, or is it just defer to your normal discipline policy for students not following?
Nothing special, no.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure there was nothing crossing over into that policy.
No, but I think legislatively, politically, it's a potential gotcha, you know, if we don't do it.
No, I just meant if a student isn't doing what they're supposed to do during the moment of silence, is there an outlined disciplinary action that's mandated that we take in regards to behavior problems during that specific minute of silence? Or is that just defer to your normal discipline policy?
Just normal.
Okay.
Yep.
Just want to make sure.
And there is the sentence in there, engaging in noisy or disruptive activities during this time is prohibited and may result in disciplinary actions. So I assume it would be the same kind of disciplinary action as engaging in noisy or disruptive activities that just disturb the classroom.
That's correct.
Okay. Any other thoughts or comments around policy?
Nope.
Okay, moving on to athletic family pass fees.
We passed those increases that we needed to for the gate fees for individuals. But we didn't specify that we also needed to increase our family pass fee. If you go over 5%, you have to do a hearing. Both high schools are just proposing a 4% just to match, the increase of the individuals. So really, it's kind of a formality. I should have included it when we did the individuals. It just didn't occur to me. So both high schools will do a 4% if you approve it for the family pass. Otherwise, we incentivize that probably too much, and it's harder for them to pay the costs. That's it.
So I would entertain a motion.
I move to approve the athletic family pass fee schedule with the 4% increase for Orofino Junior Senior High School and Timberline schools.
I second.
Motion in a second. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Motion carries. Thank you. Busing safety.
So the state doesn't require transportation within 1.5 miles of a school. If the board approves transportation within our two Orofino schools, we will continue, as we have always done, to provide transportation inside of the 1.5. The qualifies because of traffic, lack of crosswalks, et cetera. Those areas qualify for safety busing, but the board has to approve it each school year.
Okay, motion around.
Can I ask a question? Is this a
You bet.
change from last year? I just know there's a bus that goes from like Miles Avenue in the afternoon from the high school, so they can come home on that bus, but there's no bus that takes them to school. So do we need to outline that specifically, that it's only offered part of the way, or is there a change from what there was last year?
There's no change on this, as far as the safety busing. This allows us legally to transport within those, within 1.5 miles
Okay.
because of the board approval, basically. And
So
then
it's not obligating us to offer it both directions.
that's correct.
Okay.
It's what, if we could get a motion, then we could have a little bit of discussion on it.
Agreed.
I move to approve the safety busing routes and designation as presented for the 2026-2027 school year.
I'll second.
Okay, now, for some discussion, one of the things I wondered is, Stephanie, are we seeing any, benefit in, or, added safety features as a result of some of the improvements in the, city of Orofino's safe school routes developments, some of the sidewalks, those little orange flags?
Flags are used quite frequently. That's how the sidewalks help. The safety busing is basically for the children that live off of Riverside by the bus garage of the high school to the elementary school, and then the students from Michigan area that live by the elementary school so they can get to the high school. That's
So
just the two highest traffic areas that we have. in
It's,
our district.
And the proponents of log truck drivers early in the morning and the darkness in the
The
morning.
darkness, the
Yeah, but-
speed, all the walk through.
the reason for the safety busing, my understanding on that, for us to prove that, is so the district can also get reimbursed for the students that are traveling on those buses. That's the biggest issue.
It's extra students on our buses that qualify.
And that helps us with reimbursement. Otherwise, we could transport them, we just wouldn't get reimbursement.
Yep, I understand that. I
So
was
that's
just
the main
wondering
reason
if some
for
of the
that.
community efforts that were enhancing the safety, so.
I think the speed signs help.
Yeah, those little flashing. Mhm. Yeah. Taylor, did you have anything more to add in discussion?
No, I just wanted to, just a point of clarification. We have these items as discussion and action, so we can discuss them before we have a motion.
Our typical procedure's been to get a first and a second and then discuss.
I know, but the way we have it listed on the agenda, I mean, we can ask questions and stuff and have that discussion beforehand because we have it listed as a discussion item before we take action. So I mean, if there is a question or I just want to make
I think
sure.
it's legal to do either way, yes.
Okay. Just making sure that the discussion that we had prior was okay.
Oh, no, it matters. I just thought in order to, before we started going deep down into a rabbit hole, which I am often accused of and do, I thought we'd just pull it out and follow a procedure that we are trying to follow. So we've had a motion in a second and some discussion. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
I,
Aye, motion carries. Thank you. The no transportation zones. I wondered, are there less or more?
We only added Pro Bench to that this year, only because the road is in really bad shape. It's pretty much a one-lane deteriorating road down in. The far end is not maintained gravel wise. County hasn't done a great job maintaining it. And as of middle of last school year, we didn't have any students down there. So we were making that 3.5 mile loop for nothing. And there's a big pullout at the top that parents could technically meet us at. So to save some wear and tear on the bus and danger of being on that one lane deteriorating road. If we obviously get students down there, we will address that.
Thank you. You get a motion?
Make a motion that we accept the non-transportation zones as presented.
I'll second.
Any further discussion?
Is there any students on any of these routes that are impacted that haven't previously been impacted?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay, so they're all used to this from
Yep.
last year. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
I remembered several of them, but I wasn't sure about all of them. So. All those in favor, of the non-transportation zones? Aye.
I,
Aye.
Did you have a question? Okay, thank you. Motion carries. The bus routes are not to be publicly disclosed for the safety of our students. You get a motion to approve?
I move to approve the bus routes as presented for the 2026-2027 school year.
I'll second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
I,
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Thank you. Item G, an amendment item, bus shelter structural repair bid selection. Have it?
Yep. I give you a hard copy.
These two have access.
Well, Taylor, I'm gonna share it with you right now.
I think I have it from the email you sent earlier.
Okay, I thought so.
Yep, I'm good. I can pull it up.
Okay, cool. I'll let you peruse and then I'll speak to it here in a minute. So as you recall, when we approved this project, that transportation center bus shelter is really dilapidated. It has two large beams that need replaced. That's where the power pulled loose, and we had to reattach it. And there's a lot of purlins underneath the structure that need replaced. Quite a bit of sheeting, some fascia, as well as it'll need to be re-roofed. The scope of this request for quote does not include the roof. I'm going to coordinate with the roofer to do the roof. It'll be a membrane also after we finish this construction project. So the request for quote asked for a comprehensive quote based on their best judgment of what needed repaired. But it was pretty difficult because you just can't assess all the materials without a tear off. So we had two bidders. We had Jared Construction, Whiskey Creek Builders. The bids were very close, or the quotes are very close. And because of the threshold of this project, it fell in that formal or semi-formal quote process. We don't have to do the full-blown sealed bid process. These were the only two that submitted quotes. I contacted 5 or 6. Both of them had a different take on, Jared Construction. The key differences are up to 40 sheets of sheeting. Whiskey Creek quoted for all of them, and then they did the opposite on purlins. So Jared Construction quoted up to 70 purlins, and Whiskey Creek only had 10. One key note there is that Jared Construction counts the fascia because it's the same material as in the 70 purlins price. So the quotes end up being very similar, including the 3 beams that are on the bus garage side, with Jared Construction coming in slightly lower. And this job does not require a public works because the threshold was moved up by the Idaho legislature. Jared Construction has that license. Whiskey Creek does not yet. Again, it's not required for this particular job. See what else stands out.
So is that a hard bid, or is that, I mean, I see on Jared's, the permit is an estimate, but is the rest of it?
Both of them are hard bids, but they put those quantities in there. So,
Okay.
and they, like I said, they went, one of them focused on the purlins where the other one focused on the sheeting. And so in both cases, like for example, find one here.
What's the
In
price point
sheeting,
difference between the two on a per item basis?
we don't have that. You
Adjusted
can't get it
tools, right.
because they're not the same items.
Right, and do we have an idea of who might be closer?
No, they're both fair bids. They both came and looked at it. It's just different guesses on how much sheeting is going to be damaged versus how many purlins.
Oh, so it's not a replace all, it's
Correct,
use what we can.
for sure.
I see.
Yes.
Okay.
And so you can see that if it's like in Jared Construction, that's up to 40 sheets. So if we end up doing more sheets, and like I said, you can only see the underside of them, the roofing covers the top side, then that will be a change order. Same thing would be true with Whiskey Creek on purlins. If it's more than 10, then that would be a change order. The rest are hard cost. It's a tricky job because it's kind of hard for them to give a good quote on. I think they did a good job, but usually it's a little more obvious, where you're gonna build something or, completely replace something. This one with the roof on there,
And-
you
and
just
the-
can't completely tell.
Sorry, the post add-on, with Jared where he didn't include the posts, is that a hard?
Yes.
Okay. Well, thank you for this analysis and thank you for two contractors bidding.
Yep. Both of them, like I said, after meeting both of them, I walked through it with both of them. I think either could do the job just fine. Jared Construction was slightly less. My recommendation is that we go with the lower bid.
And he can start right away.
Yeah,
That's what I saw. So how much disruption are we looking at within the bus barn itself?
it'll be a big disruption. It's over all those buses, so it'll be kind of like when we had the flood, for that time where they're actually dropping materials and, using a lift in there. There's quite a bit of coordination that'll have to take place. We'll have to take the power back down that feeds over there. And then I'll have to make sure the roofer is ready to go, that kind of thing.
We'll have to move all buses to the back lot again, so make sure they're out of Carmen's way for her food deliveries and. We'll figure it out.
Fortunately, we
That's
have
right.
that space.
Yeah, we have space though, right?
I'm happy to have the process moving forward and the fact that we can get it repaired before it's ruined.
I'd entertain a motion related to the bus shelter structural repair.
Before we do that, did we get with Whiskey Creek, I don't see an ETA on completion. Am I missing
We
that?
could start till middle of October is
Yes.
what I read.
Yeah.
I seen the start time, but he doesn't give an idea of how much time it would take to do it either.
He might have told me, I don't recall,
Okay.
definitely not on his quote. He might have told me in person. I don't remember thinking, I don't remember having any concerns about that.
Well, in 15 to 25 days is into September anyway, looks like. Potentially,
It's gonna take some time.
right?
And then, like I said, depending on the coordination of a roofer, I might not be able to do it that fast anyway. I'm not super concerned about starting it right away unless all the ducks are in a row,
Yeah.
Like I said, I felt good with both contractors.
So the lack of a available performance and performance bond.
Both will be required to do that.
Yep.
That's just saying that they're not provided. Both of them know about it. Both of them say they can. Basically, you just have to, those are provided by their insurance companies, but they have to pay for them.
Right. And I think posted.
Have we used either one in the past?
We haven't used Whiskey Creek yet. We've used Mitch, Jared for a few different things. He does our snow plowing. He's done some little projects here and there for us.
Huge advocate within the Timberline Foundation, Alumni Foundation. Advocate for the district.
Well, I would be, I guess, in favor of Jared Construction. Got a public works license and we've used him before. And it's a lower bid.
Motion,
Make a motion that we accept the let me get this right. I move to award the bus shelter structural repair project RFQ 2026 TC shelter to Jared Construction in the amount of $66,176.49 in accordance with the superintendent's bid analysis and recommendations, and to authorize the superintendent to execute the contract.
could you amend that motion to include the 3,900, so it bumps it up to 71 something? 70, excuse me. $70,076.49.
It's on the motion there. It's on the sample motion.
Oh, I'll amend that to 70,076 and 49 cents. The additional 3,900 for post add-on.
Thank you. There's second.
I'll second.
Any further discussion? Hopefully there are no change orders needed. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Aye, motion carries.
I wouldn't be surprised if there are change orders, you know, it's hard, like I said, it was
hope-
hard for both of them.
Hopefully there's not.
Both of them did a good job and I'd be happy to work with either.
Moving on to the, oops.
Sorry, I messed it up for Carmen. She's making me pay for it right now.
I caught that. She keeps us all honest.
All right, we're good.
Okay, all right, moving on to emergency declaration for Orofino Elementary School fifth grade teacher. We approved the action last for the teacher specifically, but we didn't declare the emergency. So this is to declare the emergency. Motion.
I move to declare an emergency need to fill the fifth grade teacher vacancy at Orofino Elementary School and authorize the superintendent to fill the position under an emergency provisional hiring authorization as permitted by the Idaho State Board of Education rule.
I second.
Any further discussion? One would think it would be common sense if you need an emergency authorization, it would be an emergency situation. But all those in favor?
Aye.
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 Aye, motion carries. Thank you. Fiscal year 27 supplemental contracts. It amazes me at the extra little jobs that we have. And how many people do more than one? Yeah, they really step up. I appreciate that.
I move to approve the fiscal year 27 supplemental contracts as presented.
Can we get a second?
I will second.
Any discussion?
I just had a
Okay.
question. It looks like there's so we have an athletic director for the high school, but we're having a separate person do the junior high. Is that something new that we're doing this year, or did we do that last year?
A good question, Taylor. It's not something new. It's basically a facility management.
Okay.
We need someone there at that building to manage the facility essentially. And we've done that in the past and
I think I remember that now that you say that facility management. The way it was
If you've
worded,
been-
confused.
right. If you've been there for those events, it gets, we need somebody there.
Yeah.
There's a
for
lot
sure.
going on. Mark helps manage that.
Yeah, absolutely. Because there's a lot of access that I see him monitoring that hallway access a lot, which is nice.
Any further discussion or questions? We did have a motion in a second, didn't we, Carmen? Second, we had a second? Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Aye, motion carries. New hires and separations. Okay, get a motion?
I move to approve the new hires and accept the separations as presented by the superintendent.
A
I
second?
second.
Okay, excellent. Any questions, discussion? Doesn't name anybody? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Madam Chair, I'm gonna abstain due to a conflict of interest.
Thank you. That. We still have a quorum and we're good to go, Carmen. But not all in favor. Okay, my understanding is we do have an executive session to retire to. Thank you all for coming and participating tonight. Where are we going?
I think Jim's gonna take us across the hall.
Are we
Motion
gonna?
to enter into executive.
Yep, motion please.
I move to enter into executive session pursuant to Idaho Code 74-2061A to consider hiring a public officer, employee, staff member, or individual agent wherein the respective qualities of individuals are to be evaluated in order to fill a particular vacancy or need, and pursuant to 74-2061B to consider the evaluation, dismissal, or disciplining of, or to hear a complaint or charge brought against a public officer, employee, staff member, or individual agent or a student.
Carmen, roll call, please.
We have a second?
Oh, sorry.
I second.
Okay, trustee Saint Germain,
Yes.
trustee Craig,
Yes.
trustee Doran,
Yes.
trustee Kepke,
Yes.
trustee McIntosh.
Yes.
Okay, we'll call you, Taylor.
Sounds good.
We are back from executive session on August 17th, 2026. Action was taken pursuant Idaho Code 74206-1A. Anybody have any ideas for future agenda items? The next regular meeting is September
It's 21st or September 21st.
20, is it 21st?
And I will not probably be at that meeting. I got a conference in Coeur d'Alene, so.
Oh, cool. That's a nice place in September.
Mhm, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
It looks like we're at Timberline.
Timberline on September 21st. Okay. And you will just circle back around and close the door on the committee around behavior. You'll put something together. Okay, and time is whatever it takes, so. And Taylor, are you back?
I am.
Any input for future meetings? Thank you. Next steps.
Nope, I don't have anything.
Okay, awesome. Thank you for volunteering for the behavior policy review. And I entertain a motion to adjourn.
I make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Thanks all for participating tonight.
Thank you.